Hey everybody, blessings to all. Welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. As you know, I'm a big lover of live albums, and specifically wherein that lies is most of the time the double live album or triple or beyond that. There are some quadruple live albums, but that's a definite rarity. Even the triple live album is a rarity, but those are, you can find those a bit more than the quadruple live album on vinyl is what I mean. And then on CD it would be 2 or 3 discs. But today I'm presenting to you what I think to be, in my humble opinion, the 10 greatest single live albums of all time. And so that means when they came out originally back in the first vinyl age, it was just one vinyl record. And I have some props here, but I don't have all of these as props, just a couple of them, MP3 format. A couple of them I'm going to show you an alternate version or the double version because I don't have the original single version, but I am specifically going to talk about the single edition that originally came out. So again, this is ranked. So starting with number 10 is Iron Maiden's Made in Japan. Love the pun, but in all seriousness, what we have here is, and I've lost my... No, here it is. Okay, sorry about that. It's a very short record. You get 4 songs, unless you have the international edition. You get Running Free and Remember Tomorrow on side 1. And then you get Killers and Innocent Exile on side B. If you have the international edition, you get Wrathchild, Killers and Innocent Exile. This is a glorious EP, really, of a live album, and it's a shame that they didn't release it, or rather release the whole concert. You can watch it on YouTube if it's still there. I saw it a couple years ago. I watched the whole thing. It's great. To this day, I don't get why they never released it as a full double album. However, I do have this. This is Made in Tokyo, 1981. This is a bootleg. And it's wonderful. It has, this is the Live at Nakano Sun Plaza, Tokyo, Japan, on 24th of May, 1981, evening show, soundboard recording. It is not the same live set from where Made in Japan came in, but it's quite good. Paul Di'Anno on vocals, Steve Harris on bass, of course, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and Clive Burr's in the band at this point. So anyway, so just wanted to show you that if you're interested in getting that. I got that on Amazon from, I think it's Prog Heaven is the third-party seller, and they've been wonderful. I got some Genesis and other stuff from them over the years. All right, so again, Made in Japan from Iron Maiden comes last at number 10. Number 9 is Cheap Trick's Live at Budokan. Again, the single version, 10 or 11 songs. You get Hello There, Come On, Come On, Look Out, Big Eyes, Need Your Love, Ain't That a Shame, I thought I was going to sneeze there. The Fats Domino cover, New Orleans' own, I Want You to Want Me, Surrender, Good Night Now, and Clock Strikes 10. I love all of these songs. For me, the definitive version is the double version, but to me, this is one of the greatest 10 single live albums of all time. And it's interesting. Let's see. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 10 songs. And the last 5, Ain't That a Shame, I Want You to Want Me, Surrender, Good Night Now, and Clock Strikes 10, are the best part of the album. I like what comes before. They're very good, but this is some greatness here. So side B, for the most part, is where it's out on this record. But I do listen to this most of the time from start to finish, including when I do listen to the double version. I usually listen to the double version, but there are times where I just want the abridged version, if you will. Come On, Come On would be probably my favorite song on side A. I love Need Your Love. I think Ain't That a Shame is one of the best cover songs of all time. I Want You to Want Me is, for me and many of us, the definitive version of the song. I remember when I, for the first time, heard the studio version, lacks punch. It's very lackluster. It sounds like a Roy Orbison song. No offense to Roy Orbison, because I do like and listen to Roy Orbison from time to time, but I don't want my Cheap Trick to sound like Roy Orbison. So Surrender for me is the definitive version here live, and Good Night Now is just great. And then you get the encore Clock Strikes 10, which I think is one of Cheap Trick's best songs of all time, especially here. All right, so that takes care of number 9, Cheap Trick, live at Budokan. Number 8 is MC5, live album, first album that they ever put out. This is one of those albums we never see the likes again, unfortunately. You get the wonderful Ramblin' Rose, which is a great way to start off the album. Kick Out the Jams, of course, the highlight or most noted song on this album. It is one of my favorite songs of the band, but not my top favorite. It is on here, however. Come Together's fabulous. Rocket Reducer number 62 sounds like a budgie title, if you will, but it's a great song. Borderline is fantastic. Motor City is Burning, one of the highlights on the album for many of us. This is probably, it is one of the one of the best songs on the album and in the discography for me. I Want You Right Now is exquisite in so many ways. My favorite song on here, however, is the epic length track Starship, which is just fabulous. What a great album. Again, too bad we never saw the likes of this again with the band. This is their greatest achievement. This is where they peaked. Unfortunately, opening your career with a live album can be a double-edged sword, but what a great album. And I would go on record to say that, of course, this is the beginning of both the punk movement, hardcore punk, you could argue, punk in general, and proto-metal in so many ways. What a great album, MC5 live. All right. Next is No Sleep Till Hammersmith from the great Motorhead. This is the 2-disc version, but songs here. I'm not going to get it on the disc. I hate when that happens. So let me get the booklet out. You got to get the 2-disc version, like for so many bands, but still, it makes the list here of the best single live albums of all time. All right, so you get Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Metropolis, The Hammer, Iron Horse, Born to Lose, No Class, Overkill, We Are the Road Crew, Capricorn, Bomber, and of course, ending with Motorhead. And that is just a wonderful collection of greatest hits. Of course, you're going to play your greatest hits live, and these are some wonderful, wonderful live versions. I had this on vinyl thanks to a friend of mine in high school who gave it to me as a gift for either Christmas or birthday, and I forget which. Nice guy. All right, so hope he's doing well. So that is number 7. Number 6, I think, will be a surprise for many of you. But I remember when they played live on television on MTV for the US Festival, and I thought they blew this was Heavy Metal Day, although this isn't really a heavy metal band. They're a hard rock band from Canada. Yes, I'm talking about Triumph, live at the US Festival. Allied Forces, Lay It on the Line, Never Surrender, Magic Power, A World of Fantasy, Rock and Roll Machine, When the Lights Go Down, just great for Fight the Good Fight, and Follow Your Heart is a bonus track, wasn't originally on the original version of this, and I'm not sure if they played that live, but it is here as a bonus track. However, great songs here, and I remember couldn't wait for this to come on. Rick Emmett, well, the whole band is great here. You can still get the DVD, which I don't have, but 1983, but I stayed to watch I watched all the heavy metal and hard rock acts that day, and I thought Judas Priest was fantastic. I thought Van Halen was fantastic, but there was just something electric and dynamic and wonderful and beautiful about, again, the whole band, but especially Rick Emmett's charisma vocally, and especially his guitar playing here was just a force to be reckoned with. He to me, and the band blew out Judas Priest to me, and Judas Priest is in my top 10. Triumph is not, so that's high praise indeed. So definitely number 6 for me. Number 5, a little AC/DC if you want blood. Riff Raff, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. Bad Boy Boogie, The Jack, Problem Child, Whole Lot of Rosie here is just great. Rock and Roll Damnation is great. High Voltage is phenomenal. Let There Be Rock is crazy good. And Rocker is amazing. Short and sweet, just 10 songs, but boy, what a great album. Too bad If You Want Blood isn't on here. That's the only thing missing. Kind of wish the title track of the said live album was here. But anyway, that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, AC/DC song of all time. Great single live album. All right, coming in at number 5. Number 4, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out from the Rolling Stones. As single live albums go, they're disappointing because they're so short. These are still wonderful, and you wish they were longer, and they do sometimes, not all of these, put out a later double version, but Stray Cat Blues is my favorite live recording on this live album. But I love the whole album. Jumpin' Jack Flash, Carol is fantastic. Stray Cat Blues is my favorite, as I said. Love in Vain, amazing. Midnight Rambler, Sympathy for the Devil, Live With Me is great. Little Queenie, doing some cover stuff, right? Chuck Berry, Honky Tonk Women is great. Street Fighting Man is great. So you picked the right songs, the Rolling Stones. You sure did. This is amazing. What a great live album. We wanted it to be double, but it's not. But we're thankful for it. What a great collection of greatest hits live here from the Stones. What a great album. Used to have it on CD. I don't know what happened to it. So number 4, High Praise Indeed. Next is Genesis Live. And you only get 5 songs, but what a great collection of 5 songs. Watcher of the Skies, over 8.5 minutes. Get 'Em Out by Friday, over 9 minutes. The Return of the Giant Hogweed, over 8 minutes. Then you get the wonderful musical box, almost 11 minutes. My favorite track on the album. And then The Knife, my second favorite track on the album, almost 10 minutes. I tell you what, I love Steve Hackett. If Steve Hackett played his heart out and soul and spirit the way he does here on much of the studio, and he does play lights out on the studio stuff, but it's even more impressive and dynamic and beautiful and heavy. If he played as heavy as he played here on some of the studio stuff, Genesis would have been a lot better as a band. And they are wonderful. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Definitely top 50. But yeah, this is amazing. Again, we wanted it longer. Have to make do with this. Still great. All right, Genesis. It's just called Genesis Live. Yes. All right. Number 2 is Unleashed in the East from Judas Priest. Originally 1 album, not 2. You got some bonus tracks here, which I won't discuss. Exciter, Running Wild, Sinner, The Ripper, The Green Man Unleash You with a 2-pronged crown, Diamonds and Rust, Victim of Changes, Genocide, and Tyrant. You pretty much did what the Stones did in putting the right songs that the fans wanted to hear on a single live album. I could wish for Deceiver and Dreamer, Deceiver / Deceiver, but it kind of, as great as that song is, and that those 2 songs combined as one really is one of my top 5 or 10 Judas Priest songs of all time. It kind of would have disrupted the flow of because it's Light and Shade and everything pretty much here is just downright heavy. So it kind of would have disrupted the flow maybe. Anyway, great live album. Their best live album in their discography, if you ask me. There's not much there live, not counting bootlegs and stuff. So Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East, just a nice heavy live album from the band. And finally, an album we all, again, theme here, we wished would have been a double. Made in Europe from Deep Purple. I was going to say Made in Japan, but that's a double. This is the Mark III lineup with Coverdale, Hughes, Blackmore, and company. John Lord, of course, and Ian Pace. You get 5 songs, but they're wonderful. Coverdale comes up to the microphone and says, rock and roll. It's all history from there, right? Opening to Burn is amazing. The chemistry here, the synergy is off the charts, and then off the charts some more. Again, only 5 songs, but the energy in this recording is just amazingly amazing. Mistreated is superb. Okay, Lady Double Dealer is a nice treat from the Stormbringer album, one of the deep cuts from that album. You Fool No One from Burn is amazing, and then it closes out with Stormbringer. What a great way to end the album. So you get 2 of the best songs, the two best songs from the Mark III lineup as bookends, Burn and Stormbringer. This is a great live album. As short and sweet as it is sweet. Focus on the sweet, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. However, I do have one more thing I almost forgot. Number 11, who is on the cusp or on the outside looking in? Honorable mention, it would be The Who, Live at Leeds. This is the double version. But if you know the first original single version, you just have Young Man Blues, Substitute, and then I lost my place in time. Young Man Blues, Substitute, Summertime Blues, Shakin' All Over. So 2 cover songs, which was the order of the day. You put out a live album. Deep Purple did it with Made in Japan. Uriah Heep did it with their medley on Live 73. Led Zeppelin did it, of course. These are my 2 least favorite songs on the album. I get why they're there, but you have then they make up for it in spades with the almost 15-minute version of My Generation and then Magic Bus, 7 minutes and 50 seconds long. However, this is where it's at. You get all of or most of Tommy in its entirety plus some other songs. This is a great album. So it doesn't make the it doesn't make the cut of the top 10, but it is a close, almost making the cut as an honorable mention. Number 11 on the outside looking in. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.